and all the command posts were bombarded in Sinai, and also the bridges that were built over the canal for tanks to cross over, and then crossing over of the soldiers using rubber boats, and also the frogmen who did an impossible mission before that by closing the openings of napalm pipelines and then crossing over and destroying Burlef line. And here we need to remember Major General Baqi Youssef. Now we'll get back to Hammam Mujahid and Nancy Noor from El Manara International Conference Center. Thank you very much, Riham. Thank you, Ahmed. Welcome back, dear viewers from El Manara Conference Center. We are waiting now for the second part of the 38th Educational Symposium with the presence of President Sisi and the highest commander of the armed forces. We have seen the first part of it, and we found a lot of important things that took place during it. And we have listened to stories from the heroes of the armed forces who participated in the 6th of October war. We got used to President Sisi making these gestures, standing for one of the heroes of the 6th of October victory, going to him and talking to him. It is a very important gesture that shows the importance of this achievement and this victory. Hammam was talking about the idea of victory and the unity between the people, the political leadership, and this is exactly we are witnessing now, the challenges that we are facing and the whole world is facing impacted the state. So this unity on part of the state and the Egyptians is something that we're used to. Yes, this response to the plans and the scientific studies, as well as unity with the leadership, is so important. And this leads to the social and economic development that Egypt is facing now. And as usual, President Sisi and all state institutions extend thanks to the Egyptians who stand side by side with the leadership, in particular the armed forces. President Sisi in the first part also mentioned a lot of important points regarding how to face the challenges. And we can put a clear approach to deal with these challenges as we dealt with the challenges of the 6th of October war. And the president in his speech mentioned the death of late President Abdel Nasser and how the Egyptians were able to stand up again and to hold on to hope and make victory in 1973. The Egyptians were able to turn frustration into hope and defeat into victory and all negative feelings into positive ones. The 6th of October victory was not a military battle. Of course, we talked about military battles that the Egyptian armed forces has been through in sea, air, and sky, but also besides this, there was planning, science, support, patience, and we can never forget the depletion war. That was another battle that was taken by both the Egyptians and the army. And of course, there is also the psychological aspect, and it is so important in war or in development progress and construction. After the defeat of 1967, the Egyptians felt the defeat, and the army started building itself and reacquired the confidence of the people in the army until the victory came. As you mentioned, this is not just a military battle, it is also a political, social battle, psychological one. This psychological aspect is something that the enemy targets, so we need also to work on it. Another point we need to refer to in the first part is the awareness and the importance of increasing the awareness of the coming generations. Over the previous years and the previous weeks, there were some stories that show October War in a different way. So our role as media and the role of the state and the Egyptians is to provide sound stories and narrative to the coming generations, documented with evidence and information. And during the first part, we have seen that this should be mentioned by those who lived this war. We need to listen to them and document what you said. So it is a generation that is handing over to the next generation. And this point is going to be re-emphasized. Again, during the ceremony, as said by President Sisi. And we need here to remember an important point, the gesture on part of the President at the beginning of the ceremony by asking everyone to stand in respect to the heroes of the battle, as well as talking to them and greeting them himself. President Sisi, since he assumed power, he has always shown respect to our martyrs and heroes in all wars and battles. He always shows appreciation to them, and he honors them and remembers them all the time. He gives them support, and he supports also the families of the martyrs because what they did is not little. Yes, and also the state established a fund for martyrs that supports the martyrs and the injured ones of all the battles that Egypt has been through over the previous years, starting from Palestine War, 56 War, 1967, 1973, as well as the terrorist attacks. All those martyrs sacrificed themselves for this country and for Egypt to witness this progress, construction, and development, so that we can celebrate today as we have celebrated. And if it was not for them, we would never been able to celebrate the 6th of October victory or celebrate the national projects that the president inaugurates. If it was not for their sacrifices, we wouldn't have been standing here witnessing these ceremonies. Greetings to the martyrs. It's our duty to send our greetings to them and to remember them all. We always call the 6th of October victory, the day of honor, the day of pride, and the day of dignity, because it was not just a military battle. It was a battle for reconstruction, progress and development, and now we are going also through another battle, the battle of construction and development. President Sisi and the highest commander of the armed forces. October 1973, 50 years celebrating the great victory. Mr. President Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Republic, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the battle of dignity is full of lessons to be learned. Despite the 50th anniversary, October War is an inspiring spirit for resilience, giving sacrifice and development. The greatness of the Egyptian army is an extension of the great history of the Egyptian military since 5,000 years. The greatness of this army is emanating from the greatness of history, people, and land. The history that witnessed the link of this army to the state. Over history, the Egyptian military mindset has given the best values and principles and has carved important chapters in the history of this nation, taking always the side of its people's will. The 6th of October 1973 is the date. It looked like a normal day, similar to other days, but in fact it was a day setting destiny. 6th of October 1973 is the history and the date. ما بيننا وبين حشود جنود بيقولوا النصر يا الهلاك، وما بين هنا وما بين هناك حدوتة لازم تتحكي وهتفضل دايما تتحكي. هنا التلامذة عماد وحمزة صحيوا لبسوا المريالة ونزلوا راحوا المدرسة يتعلموا، وهناك عماد وحمزة جنود على الحدود حالفين ما هيرجعوا إلا بهدية، كانت الهدية يرجعوا أرض وقضية. هنا التلامذة في الفصول كانت تقول المبتدأ مرفوع وخبره، جالنا لما جنودنا عبروا شايلين قوارب وزنها مفيش بشر يتحملوا، ورغم ذلك كملوا وعلموا العدو درس، والدرس جوه المدرسة كان برضو لسه في أوله. اعرب جميع ما تحته خط، الخط كان برليف حصين محتاج سنين، حاجز لا يمكن تكسره، برليف منيع عايز تضيع، قرب وعمرك تخسره. اللي هيعدي هيتحرق، واللي له حق هيتسرق، والحق حتى لو اتسرق لا يمكن ابدا يتنسى ولازم يبان. في الراديو بتاع المدرسة جاء البيان.
هنا القاهرة. جاءنا الآن البيان التالي من القيادة العامة للقوات المسلحة. نجحت قواتنا في اقتحام قناة السويس في قطاعات عديدة، واستولت على نقط العدو القوية بها، ورفع علم مصر على الضفة الشرقية للقناة. هنا القاهرة.
هنا وجنب المدرسة القسط أبو سمرة السكارة واقف في ورشة سمكارة بيحول القديم جديد. وهناك أبو سمرة من الصعيد بينادي بشموخ ورفعة شد حيلك قوم يا دفعة نخلي اليوم ده يبقى عيد. أبو سمرة في وسط ورشته شغال وداير وأبو سمرة في الميدان بيقول عدوا الخساير. هنا العربية اتجمعت كبوت ورفرف وبلاد عربية اتجمعت وعلمنا رفرف. أبو سمرة بدل هدمته بهدوم جداد واتمشى لحد المدرسة ياخد عماد. المشية كانت متغيرة على أرض كانت متحررة ورافع راسه للأمام خلاص مش هيبص لورا. لما وصل المدرسة كانت آخر حصة عن التاريخ. الفصل قاعد منتبه ومدرس واقف مبتسم عمال يعيد. انسوا اللي فات أصل النهاردة اتكتب تاريخ جديد. تاريخ جديد. تاريخ جديد. 6 أكتوبر 73 ده التاريخ وده الزمن. بس الزمن ده ليه تمن ودفعه من كان يؤتمن. الأرض كان شايفها عرض نيابة عن فرد فرد. كان أسد واقف في جبهة ضحى بدمه وأرضه جبهة وشروطه فرضها فرض. كان دم طاهر يتضرب به المثل في الطهر. كان أول مرة الفجر يطلع 2 الظهر. كان دم طاهر يتضرب به المثل في الطهر. كان أول مرة الفجر يطلع 2 الظهر. 6 أكتوبر 73 ده التاريخ وده الزمن. أبو سمرة قصاد المدرسة واقف بالثانية في الميعاد ودموع الفرحة بالانتصار في عينيه أول ما شاف عماد. اللحظة كانت مربكة. كل الولاد أصحاب عماد إيديها كانت متشبكة خارجين من باب المدرسة وعلى وشوشهم ضحكة أمل مليانة نصر. كان صوتهم بيرج البلد وبيهتفوا باسم مصر.
زي ما بنقول دايما انه جيل بيسلم جيل.
A generation
واحنا حابين
is
النهارده
delivering to the next generation. And today we want to tell our sons what their grandfathers did. If you'd excuse me, let's welcome Omar Sharif, the young actor. Good evening, many happy returns. I'm Omar Sharif. I'm a young actor. I'm so glad to be here with you today, and I'm glad to stand in front of you, Mr. President. Good evening, Omar. I know how old are you, but you tell people how old are you. I'm 13 years old, a new generation. Omar, what do you know about October War and October victory? I did not know a lot about it. But when I learned that I would be part of this ceremony, I started reading about it. And I know that we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 6th of October victory, when our forces crossed over Suez Canal and raised the flag of Egypt on Sinai land. Omar, what else did you read? I learned also that it was a war for peace to restore our lands, and we did not take anyone else's land. That's why we call it the war for peace. In school, Omar, do you celebrate October victory? Yes, we do plays about the 6th of October, and we fight always who would be the Egyptian soldier, because it's the Egyptian soldier who always wins. Thank you, Omar. I'm so glad to be standing before you today, and I'm so glad, Mr. President, to be here today. Thank you. Letters of fighters and soldiers that they wrote on the front are very simple. In these letters they express their feelings, and today these are documents that write history, a long history for 30,000 years. It's the history of the Egyptian army. The Egyptian army that protected it and protected the whole region over history. The Egyptian army that was always on time and always took the side of Egypt and its people. They are our brothers and our sons, our uncles. There is no house in Egypt that does not have a martyr or a soldier in the Egyptian army. And when we tell the story of this army, we are not only talking about battles and wars, but the history of the Egyptian army is a history for constructing the country and developing it.
خلي السلاح صاحي تاريخ وحاضر ومستقبل.
Always be ready to protect our country and to protect our peace. Today we'll tell one of our stories. We are the ones who would tell it. It's the story of a nation that started history, a nation that has big challenges equal to its volume and its history and its stance and its location and its people. A nation since the time of Mina that won in the battle of Qadesh with Ramses and with Ahmus over the Hyksos, and we won in El Mansoura battle over the French, and we won in Ain Galut battle, and we liberated also all countries in Bilam, Hims and Akka, and because it is a big nation and this is its volume, so it should be weakened to surrender, and it needed to put an enemy in it. So Egypt shouldered the responsibility of the comprehensive Arab efforts since 1948 up till 1973. In 1948, the enemy was planted in the Arab region, and the land of Palestine through oppression and tyranny was taken over, and the enemy thought that the Arabs has died, but Egypt, the heart of the Arab nation, never dies. In 1952, Egypt inspired the world, and we stood up to get our right. And we nationalized Suez Canal, whose our grandfathers died while digging. We nationalized the Suez Canal Company as an Egyptian sharing company. And we read the reply from the colonization. We resisted, and our resistance was a victory with the spirit and the hands of our people in Port Said, Suez, and Ismailia, and we won. And we woke up to find a disaster, a defeat. And the planes were destroyed upon dawn. And silence became death. Isn't death silence? Yes. The heart of the Arab nation was hit. We will launch the war from one house to the other, one village to the next. We will go on war. This was the will of a nation. This was determination. We will launch the war was in refusal of the defeat, and we came back after the world thought that we came to an end. We came back with the victory of Ras al-Ash battle, and afterwards the Egyptian Navy destroyed Eilat. In addition to other battles, the nation with its people accepts nothing but victory and restoring the whole land. The victory of a nation and its journey from the destruction of planes upon dawn into destroying the legend at 2 p.m. from defeat to dignity and victory. And this was the key to our victory in the 6th of October 1973. We came back and set the date and place, and we imposed our combat method, and we came back and crossed over the canal, raised our flag on our land through joint sacrifices paid by every house in Egypt and the Arab countries. The 6th of October 1973, we won with the unity of Egypt along with the Arabs, and we destroyed the myth of the undefeatable army, because the right is only defended by power and strength. If the Egyptian army was capable of doing it once, it would be capable of doing it many times. And the Egyptian army is the weapon and the shield. It is always the shield and the weapon that protects also internally to defend the Egyptians and protect the country.
وقت اللزوم كلنا جنود.
We are all soldiers, be it civilians or military. We are soldiers in the fields of development and construction, and we tell the story of every soldier so that there would be no unknown soldiers. We need to know what each one of us did. We are all one, defending this land and defending our existence, one team and one nation. This was part of the journey of a nation that started history, a nation that realized that it has a common responsibility and common cause and a common destiny. So it was united for the same objective, and that's why we all will victorious, as the right prevailed over the weapons and the arms. In the name of Allah, Allah is the greatest. In His name we move forward, we work in the battle of truth that is led by a nation that put its nations on top. A great army that was always the weapon and the arm protecting the Arab and the Egyptian nations, and it will always be the weapon and the shield for protecting this country. May Allah support the truth and protect Egypt and its people, and make them all ready and safe till doomsday. Egypt was born as a great country, civilization, architecture, science, and along its history, it was always a special condition with its people, its streets, its cities, its intellect, its arts that has put it in a different place and make it Egypt the mother of the world. Through arts, we documented the sacrifices of our sons, a generation after the other. We expressed our victory, our sadness, our happiness in the novels, in the movies, in newspapers. Egypt makes the whole world watch its art, and through our arts we write our history. The day of crossing over canal was the day when history was rewritten. Nobody in the world believed that we can, because they do not know the secret. The secret of Allah is the greatest, the combating creed that says it is martyrdom or victory. The Egyptian people does not accept a colonist to stay on his land, and it's history that says so.
التاريخ بيقول إن محدش له حاجة عندي، ولا عاش ولا كان اللي هيكسر شوكة بلدي. عاللي بيعتدي مصر عصية وعنيدة وحرة وقوية، واللي يحاول يهدمها أنا ببنيها بيدي. ده الشعب اللي في حق بلاده عمره ما قصر، محتل بدل ما يقصر هو اللي تأثر. ما قدرش يغير ملامحنا، خد مننا طريقتنا وروحنا، وخرج من بلدي بيتكلم عربي مكسر. دي بلد يضربوا بيها الأمثال، إرادتها بجد عجيبة، كل اللي دخلها خرج منها. بيجر ديول الخيبة مكتوب على بابها، اللي هيجي عليها هيتزل. وأجرك الله عالشعب المصري ده ملهوش حل. معاها نفسه يفك في شفرتها، وهو جيل ورا جيل اتعلم منها معافرتها. وملخص موضوعنا ده كله الحر محدش يحتله، ويا ويله اللي يفكر ويهوب ناحيتها. بلاد يضربوا بيها الأمثال، إرادتها بجد عجيبة، كل اللي دخلها خرج منها. بيجر ديول الخيبة، مكتوب على بابها اللي هيجي عليها هيتذل. وأجرك الله عالشعب المصري ده ملهوش حل.
عدينا كلهم بصوا علينا، وبقينا يضربوا الأمثال بينا. فعنينا مصر شلنا في عنينا، وادينا انتصرنا في 6 ساعات. طب عدينا كلهم بصوا علينا، وبقينا يضربوا الأمثال بينا. فعنينا مصر شلنا في عنينا، وادينا انتصرنا في 6 ساعات. هي دي مصر اللي عمر ما حد يهزم شعبها، هم دول اولادها واللي تملي واقفين جنبها. النهارده بكره بعده حتى بعد 100 سنه، البلد دي ما بتقعش معاها دايما ربنا. هي دي مصر اللي عمر ما حد يهزم شعبها، هم دول ابطالها واللي تملي واقفين جنبها. النهارده بكره بعده حتى بعد 100 سنه، البلد دي ما بتقعش معاها دايما ربنا. حتى بعد 100 سنة البلد دي ما بتقعش معاها دايما ربنا. أنا مصري وقت شدة لحم مر، لو تيجي يوم عليا أنت حر. دي بلدنا فيها حاجة فيها سر، والانتصار ده عرض مستمر. أنا مصري وقت شدة لحم مر، لو تيجي يوم عليا أنت حر. دي بلدنا فيها حاجة فيها سر، والانتصار ده عرض مستمر. هي دي مصر اللي عمر ما حد يهزم شعبها، هم دول اولادها واللي تملي واقفين جنبها. النهارده بكره بعده حتى بعد 100 سنه، البلد دي ما بتقعش معاها دايما ربنا. طب عدينا كلهم بصوا علينا، وبقينا يضربوا الامثال بينا. فعنينا مصر شلنا في عنينا، وادينا انتصرنا في 6 ساعات.
وعدت علينا سنين واحنا عايشين.
Years passed living in peace, building our country and bringing up our children until January 2011, when all the people took to the streets with the just rights, and they were protected by the army. But unfortunately the revolution was hijacked, and the people found a nightmare. Who intervened and helped us? It's our army.
اللي هيقرب من مصر.
It stood by the Egyptian and said there was a hero who said who would stand against Egypt, I would get rid of him.
قسما بالله
I swear by God, he who would try to harm it, I will destroy him.
طول ما انا عايش على وش الارض وبتنفس وفي قلبي النبض لا يمكن شمسك يوم هتغيب. وجعك يا حبيبتي بيوجعني والدنيا بحالها بتسمعني. انا منك طول الوقت قريب. مش عايزك تقلقي ابدا طول ما انا فيا الروح. ومعاكي هروح اخر المشوار. وفي وسط العتمة ووسط الضلمة انا باب مفتوح. وسواد الليل هقلبه لنهار. لو يوم هتحس بظلم وقهر في وقت الضعف اكونلك ظهر وحيطة وسدي صد الخوف. مش هقبل اشوف في عيونك دمع. صابع العشرة هايدهم شمع وبكرة هنغلب اي ظروف. مش عايزك تقلقي ابدا طول ما انا فيا الروح. ومعاكي هروح اخر المشوار. وفي وسط العتمة ووسط الضلمة انا باب مفتوح. وسواد الليل هقلبه لنهار. مش عايزك تقلقي ابدا طول ما انا فيا الروح. ومعاكي هروح اخر المشوار. وفي وسط العتمة ووسط الضلمة انا باب مفتوح. وسواد الليل هقلبه لنهار.
كم مرة قالولك إنك مش ممكن تقدر. كم واحد حاول في الدنيا يجيبلك إحباط. بس انت قدرت ويوم عن يوم حلمك يكبر. في إيمانك وعزيمتك انت بتتقال حكايات. المصري بجد لا يضعف يوم ولا يستسلم. وعني دايما على المستقبل وعلى المجاش. عمره ما يرتاح غير لو شاف بلده بتتقدم. وقت ما تندهله بيجري عليها ما يستناش. فات الكتير فات الكتير مش باقي إلا القليل. والمصري ما بيعرفش المستحيل. يا ما شد خيط النهار من قلب الليل. وفات الكتير فات الكتير مش باقي إلا القليل. والمصري ما بيعرفش المستحيل.
عليا ان انا مصري ده اكبر تكريم. اطمني طول ما انا عايش على وش الدنيا، اللي يقرب لك قولي عليه يا رحمن يا رحيم. كتير فاكر كتير مش باقي الا القليل، والمصري ما بيعرفش المستحيل. يا ما شد خيط النهار من قلب الليل وفات. وبلادي بلادي بلادي يا أملي من الدنيا دي، أفديكي بعمري ده عادي، وهغني لك يا بلادي. بلادي 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 وبلادي بلادي بلادي يا أملي من الدنيا دي، أفديك بعمري ده عادي، وهغني لك يا بلادي. بلادي بلادي بلادي.
بلادنا كبيرة وعظيمة ومهما عدى عليها
Our
وشافت
country, whatever it sees, it always stand steady. All what was done on its land over the past years show that we can, the nation that can do what is done in 50 years in only 10 years means that it will never be broken. It's history that says so. We'll continue what we started and build a new republic. And whatever the challenge is, we'll overcome it. As we crossed over the past, we cross over for the future. For Egypt, we're dreaming of so long as we're united, we will do it. We are all there to live for Egypt. Long live Egypt.
والآن فليتفضل سيادة الرئيس
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the President of the Republic and the highest commander of the armed forces, will honor some of the heroes of October. Field Marshal Ahmed Ismail Ali, the highest commander of the armed forces during October victory, he was able to defeat Burlef Line as he shouldered the responsibility of war that all experts said is difficult, and it would be received by his son, Ambassador Muhammad Ahmed Ismail Ali. Field Marshal Muhammad Abdelghani Gamasi, the head of the Armed Forces Operations. He is the engineer of 6th of October war, and he prepared for the war. It would be received by his son Midhat Muhammad Abdelghani Gamasi. Lieutenant General Sha'd-ed-Din al-Shazli, the head of the staff during the 6th of October war. And he was one of the planners of crossing over, and it would be received by his grandson Muhammad Sa'd-ed-Din al-Shazli. Lieutenant Khatif Abdel Ghaffar Muhammad, he received a lot of orders like the Order of Excellent Service and the State Order, and the head of one of the brigades during October War. He participated in a lot of battles and wars. Mus'ad Shishtawi Ahmed from the Infantry Forces, head of the Operation and Planning Department in the 3rd Field Army. He participated in a lot of wars and the preparation of the attack plan and preparing for the comprehensive plan. اللواء أركان حرب زغلول Major General Zaghlul Muhammad Fathi Muhammad from the infantry, the head of brigade 43 during October War. And he took over the fortress point in Port Tawfiq. And it was one of the most important fortresses made by the enemy. Major General Pilot Hassan Muhammad Hassan from the Air Defense Forces, he received the Order of Sinai Star. One of the heroes of the Air Forces in the 6th of October War. Major General Sayed Darwish Sayed, head of the brigade of 143, and he received the Order of Sinai Star, and he participated in the 6th of October War. Major General Mahmoud Muhammad Shaban al-Yabani from the artillery and was the head of the missile base of Brigade 144. Major General Adil Sulaiman Yusri Wahbi from the infantry, he received the Order of Sinai Star, and it would be received by his daughter Suad Adil Sulaiman. Major General Hassan Abdulaziz Hindi from the Navy, he was awarded the Sinai Star, and it will be received by his son, Engineer Muhammad Hassan Muhammad Abdulaziz. Colonel Pilot Muhammad Ziauddin from the Air Forces, he received the Sinai Star Order. He participated in a lot of air strikes during the Depletion War. Lieutenant Abdelmoti Abdallah Isa from the artillery. He received the Sinai Star Order and he participated in the destruction of the Israeli tanks led by Colonel Asaf Yagouri. Al-Mursi Mahmoud Al-Mursi from the artillery, and he became a martyr while fire, and it would be received by his widow Layla Abdel Baqi and his son Muhammad Al-Mursi Mahmoud. Corporal Muhammad Ali Batawi from the engineers, and he was injured during a strike while constructing places in Safaga, and it would be received by him and his son Islam Abdel Wahab Ali Al-Batawi. Corporate Wagih Boulos Musa Boulos from the Navy. He was injured while being part of the team. And he would be honored with his wife Lula Mohib. Soldier Saber Ahmed Khalifa Ali from the Military Engineering Department. He will be honored with his wife Fatma Muhammad. And now the speech of the President, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and the highest commander of the armed forces. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, it's a very happy day. We are glad and honored to meet the heroes who contributed to this victory for this great country. I will never forget before starting my speech to say we saluted the martyr, but let us also express our respect to all our martyrs, be it those in October war or all other wars up till today. Take your seats, please. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, ladies and gentlemen, the heroes of the armed forces, the great people of Egypt, I would like to extend to you congratulations for the 50th anniversary of the 6th of October victory. The day of the armed forces, a day on which Egypt turned the wound and its pain into a great working action through which it crossed over the barrier between defeat and victory, and between depression and pride, and it removed with the minds and hands of its sons all barriers of desperation and siege to start carrying the lanterns of hope and light for the Egyptians and the Arab nation. This unique victory is something that we all need all to stand before for years and decades, to learn from and to rethink about it. Values, when they existed, success and excellence existed, scientific accurate planning that leaves nothing without being ready. Good coordination that makes use of all potentials and capabilities so that the performance of the whole system would be at its best, and the accurate, disciplined implementation that amazes with its organization, as well as the national combating spirit that confronted the big challenge with its civilization for the Egyptian nation, the strength, the self-confidence, and before all that, and afterwards, believing in God. The belief in those who know that the victory of God is near, and He gives it to those who exert efforts and those who support just causes. The great people of Egypt, all these values, principles, traits, and qualities were symbolized in the Egyptian, in your armed forces, your brave armed forces that is devoted to its country. The great generation of October that overcame the crisis and proved once more that Egypt has men in all ages who know its great position and are always, God willing, capable of protecting this country and developing it. Greetings and appreciation from the great people of Egypt to his armed, devoted forces, devoted to its national role in war and peace, its continuous devotion, and for its professionalism and its preparedness for all challenges that faces this country. And greetings from the heart to the leader Muhammad Anwar al-Sadat. And greetings from the heart to the leader Muhammad Anwar al-Sadat, the hero, who became a martyr at the Memorial of Peace after he was honored by being victorious in the war for this country. Greetings to him and to all martyrs of Egypt in the 6th of October War, whose blood were shed on the land of this soil, and they carved their names in history as heroes and champions. The great people of Egypt, Sinai is a gift, and it's a great responsibility for all us, the Egyptians. We restored it at a very high price, and for it we made a lot of sacrifices, and now we must construct and develop it to suit our great ambitions for our country, and we have already started implementing this through the volume of work that was not implemented before. Billions of dollars were spent to develop Sinai, and this does not make up us for any blood that was shed from our martyrs. This blood was there on this valuable soil to restore it from the occupation and to purify it from terrorism, and it is the last war that has extended for more than 10 years. And the day will come when we will tell the full story of Sinai, so that everybody would know that the Egyptians are determined to keep every part of this land and to develop its resources and to develop Egypt and drive it forward through developing the elements of comprehensive power, technologically, developmentally, economically, so that Egypt in a short duration will reach the position we all aspire to, and in line with its great history. At the end, I would like to extend to you all greetings once more many happy returns. And may Egypt and the Arab nation and the whole humanity enjoy peace, stability, and prosperity. And we would like always to say, long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt, and peace be upon you.
أكتوبر 73 50 عاما على النصر المجيد.
سمعاني وابويا وصاني